Moving is wasteful, but it doesn't have to be. I consider myself a little bit of an expert when it comes to moving. My entire childhood, we moved about maybe every 2 to 3 years, moved to different cities and states, and then I continue that trend as an adult. I've moved 9 times, including 3 states and 3 different countries, and this trend is not stopping anytime soon, considering in about 4 months we are going to be moving from California to the UK. And as I've been continuing my sustainability journey, I've learned some things to cut down on waste as well. And I thought this would be a great time to share some of my sustainable, decluttering, moving in more of an environmentally friendly way, and hopefully give you some ideas and tips in order to incorporate into your next move. Start preparing for your move as early as possible. I start thinking and preparing for my move about 6 months in advance. Basically what you want to avoid is that last minute rush of, wow, I have way too much stuff, throw a bunch of stuff in the trash and things end up in landfill. You want to start decluttering your space into manageable small chunks in order to thoughtfully think about every item that you want to get rid of. I like to give myself like one day every weekend for however long it takes to declutter a space. So for example, on a Saturday, I decide, okay, today's the day that I'm gonna look into the garage and put aside the things you want to get rid of. Maybe 2 weekends later, that Sunday, I decide that's the day that I want to go through the bathroom. By breaking this and decluttering your space into smaller chunks, you can really start being more thoughtful about how you're going to be getting rid of your items. Which brings me to the next point, which is all the different ways you can get rid of items without throwing them in the trash. I've talked about this before in previous videos, but still one of my favorite ways of getting rid of something is a buy nothing group. It might be called something different in your area, like a swap group, a free group, just a neighborhood group. And basically what it is that you put an item on there that you no longer want or need, and someone else will comment to pick up that item. This is the easiest way of doing them because people will come directly to you to pick them up. And every time I get rid of an item, I literally just give the person my address, I put it outside my front door, they come pick it up, and then a couple hours later I'll check and it's gone. And that person now has something that they want. There's lots of different groups that you can join in order to become a part of this. Another old school way of getting rid of stuff is just putting them out on the curb and putting a free sign on it. You'd be surprised at the things that you can get rid of. I remember during COVID when we were living in England, when everyone was stuck in their houses and everyone realized all the stuff that they had, there were so many people that put stuff out on their houses and just put free. And I ended up with loads of really cool stuff. I got a really nice like vintage vanity mirror. I also got a bunch of books, and it's just a really easy way to get rid of some items and get rid of things that perhaps your neighbors would like. If you've got some stuff that is maybe of a little bit more value, you can always use Facebook Marketplace or you can use eBay. My suggestion is though to start early. A lot of times you put something for sale on there and it takes a long time. For example, I bought some climbing shoes, and then after climbing with them a few times, I realized they were way too small for me. So I put them on Facebook Marketplace and they were on there for like 6 months, but then eventually somebody bought them. So just make sure that if there is any items that you want to sell, put them on there early and hopefully you'll get them sold before you move. You can do the old school way of just having a garage sale. And one of the things that I like to do, especially with items that I just really want to get rid of and I'm not so worried about making cash on them, is put those items for sale early in the morning, and then later in the afternoon you can just reduce them a lot or just put them for free. You can also just advertise on groups that you're having a free garage sale. You'd be surprised at the amount of stuff that you can get rid of, and hopefully you'll go to a person that really wants that item. This is actually kind of a fun one that I took from one of my friends when she was moving from France back to the US. She only had a few suitcases, and after living in France for 3 years she had accumulated a few items. So before she left to move, she kind of had like a free kind of giveaway party, and it was a really nice way to kind of have that going away goodbye party, also giving away items to get home. And she was just giving away things like half-used bottle of shampoo, an unopened packet of cookies. It's also a really great way to get rid of food and alcohol in your house. So as you may or may not know, I'm pregnant, and my husband developed a little bit of a cocktail obsession. And so right behind me, we have all this booze and alcohol and mixers and stuff like this that we are not going to be going through, considering I can't even drink. So before we leave, we're just going to have a little get together with family and friends that live in the area. So we'll be offering different kinds of alcohol. If people want to take some with them to go home and enjoy, that would be great as well. So I just want to kind of use it as an excuse to see everyone and also declutter loads of stuff in our house. And before you move, make sure that you're using up any ingredients that you have. Try and incorporate them in some meals. And at a last resort, make sure you're composting your food instead of it going to landfill. So you have gone through your house, you've decluttered as much as you can, you've sold what you can, you've given away what you can, and now you're getting to the point of actually having to pack up your items. What's the best way to do this sustainably? As I've mentioned, we are moving internationally. My husband's job is paying for a company to come and pack up our things. However, if you are just moving down the street or you're doing the move yourself, you don't need to buy any boxes. Unfortunately, due to like insurance purposes, we have to use the boxes that they provide when they're packing things. If you're moving locally or you're handling the move yourself, you should not be paying for any boxes. Grocery stores, liquor stores, wine stores, bulk stores like Costco and Sam's Club, you can ask for boxes in order to put your items in. I remember when I moved out of my college apartment and I was moving about 6 hours away. For some reason, I didn't even think of this and I ended up going to U-Haul and buying boxes, and they were really expensive, especially for a college student to be spending money on that. And it's ridiculous because you don't need to spend money on boxes when there's so many places that will give them away for free. All these places are more than happy to give away your boxes. Sometimes you might just need to give them a little bit of money, but for the most part, they don't care. They're going to be throwing them out or recycling them anyway, so you might as well use them and repurpose them for your move. Also, this goes back to my very first point of preparing months in advance. Everybody orders something online at some point. So when I order something, and especially for the good boxes, I keep those and I use them for the move that's upcoming. You can also use containers that you already have. So for example, if you've got different storage bins, use those, fill those up. If you've got suitcases, if you've got baskets, I'm sure you, like me, have so many reusable grocery bags that you can easily fill those with different clothes, bedding, pillows, items that aren't going to be broken when you're putting them into a reusable bag. Just get creative with it and start thinking about different containers and items that you can use in your household instead of moving boxes. And when you're going through and starting to pack your boxes, start by using material that you already have. Use any and all towels in your house. Not only are you going to be saving space, but eventually you'll be saving money on having to buy paper or bubble wrap and bringing more of these things into the environment. That's another thing that I start collecting, as well as the boxes. I keep all of the different packing materials that you receive when you order something online, like bubble wrap. Yes, I know that plastic bubble wrap is not the most sustainable thing, but the most sustainable thing is reusing items that already exist. So if I order a package and it comes with loads of bubble wrap, it's better to keep that bubble wrap and use it again rather than just put it in the landfill or put it to recycling and hope that it gets recycled. For my upcoming move, I do have some storage bins for Christmas stuff and for camping stuff that I'm going to be packing myself. I'm going to be using as many items as I possibly can to wrap these things in and take up every little individual square inch that I possibly can. Which also means that the less space that you're taking up whenever you're moving your items is also more environmentally friendly. You also just want to think about the transportation aspect of it. You want to be moving your items in the least amount as possible, which is more environmentally friendly. Another thing that I like to think of in advance is making sure that you are prepared whenever you move into your new place. The most exciting thing is getting into your new place, sitting down on your empty floor, having a takeout or something, and realizing that you don't have the basics. So what I like to do, and it's what I'm going to be doing when we're moving to England, is have a few plates, silverware, cups, my reusable coffee cups, in order to have those things ready to go, because when you move into your new place, you're going to be so exhausted, you're not going to immediately start unpacking boxes and finding all of these things. I like to have these things in a bag with me nearby, so I know I'm not going to be reaching for disposable items or just buying different items that I normally wouldn't have bought. So yeah, I actually remember 3 years ago, because when we moved to California, I had packed our Yetis because we are coffee people. We like coffee every single day. So we would drink our coffee out of Yetis so that when we go to coffee shops or get coffee from the hotel, that we didn't have to use disposable cups. Finding a house here during the pandemic took a lot longer than we expected, and I remember that like we had been drinking out of our Yetis for like 6 weeks, and I was just so excited to get our stuff when we eventually moved in and actually drink out of a real mug. It was so exciting. But the point is that over that 6-week period, I saved loads of disposable or single-use coffee cups going into landfill. This one might be a weird one to some people, but I like to bring my cleaning products with me. And I'm not saying that I bring every household cleaning item with me. One of the first things that I'm sure most people do when they move into a new house, they want to clean it themselves and just make sure that the whole house is nice and spotless. No, I don't bring every single cleaning item with me, but I at least bring things just like surface cleaner, glass cleaner. And in my house, I have these little glass cleaning bottles. I've had these for about 5 years, and I use these little cleaning things. I don't really know what these are called, but these completely dissolve in water. So it's got the cleaner already in it. I put it in the glass bottle, you shake them up and then they dissolve. And I bring a couple of these empty, and then I just bring this one so that when I move into the new house, I've already got my cleaners and I'm ready to go. And then that kind of just avoids me having to go out and buying different cleaners that maybe I'm not comfortable with, or buying plastic ones that are just single use. And I have those things ready to go whenever I move into a new place. So I hope that I've given you some new ideas about how you can declutter your space, how you can move a little bit more sustainably, and avoid putting loads of items into landfill. I do have some other videos as well that are kind of more specific to different areas of your house. I have one on how to declutter your kitchen, your closet, your bathroom. So if you need some more inspiration on how to kind of tackle those rooms individually, I will link those videos in the description below. Also, finishing this video, I feel like I have just scratched the surface. I'm sure that I'm missing loads of different ideas, and I'd love to learn them from you as well. So make sure to comment your ideas below to be more eco-friendly in your move. Just want to say thank you so much for watching. Remember to leave it better than you found it, and I will see you next time.